Style for Life. I'm Stephanie Rumble, fashion stylist, accountability coach, and your guide to feeling good in your body and your clothes. Based in Christchurch, New Zealand, I bring over 3 decades of experience in fashion, fitness, and wellness to help you feel strong, stylish, and self-assured. Together we'll explore the emotional, physical, and practical sides of style, because true confidence starts from within. No matter your age or size, you deserve to feel confident and show up as the best version of you. I truly believe this. This is Style for Life.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast today. I am recording from Auckland at New Zealand Fashion Week, which is really exciting. I've been here for the last couple of days and I didn't get a chance to record when I was at home, so I thought, what better place to record than from Fashion Week? So here we are, which is really good. So I'm actually in our apartment in Auckland, so if you do want to rent an apartment on Airbnb in Auckland, this is a little snapshot of it in the background. So I thought today I would talk to you about what New Zealand Fashion Week is, who it's run by, and how it works, and what I've seen, what I'm seeing on the runways, and what I've still got to see, because I'm only here for the rest of the day today. So I think the first place to start is, what is New Zealand Fashion Week? New Zealand Fashion Week is a coming together of all people in the fashion industry to see what is actually coming out for the seasons ahead. So for example, it's looking at all of the clothes, all of the fashion that we can look forward to coming into the current season. So it's really nice in New Zealand because we showcase just into current season. So we're not showcasing, we're in winter, but we're showcasing for summer, which is coming. And we're not showcasing too far ahead, which is really great. So the things we're seeing are trickling into the shops right now, which is excellent news. And it creates a sense of excitement, a sense of interest. And it is pretty cold right now in New Zealand. We're in August. If you're listening or watching this, historically it's August in 2026 and we are in winter. Beautiful warm days up to about 12 or 13 or 14 degrees, but cold in the evenings and afternoons and really cold out of the sun. So we are wearing our winter clothes, but we are seeing all these really fantastic summery things on the runway from most designers, especially the big design houses. The smaller ones, we're seeing more trans-seasonal pieces because in New Zealand, we have lots of trans-seasonal weather, so we need to see pieces like that. So that's what New Zealand Fashion Week is. It's also a chance to socialise, to connect with other people in the industry, to interact, to have a look at new season's collections, to be in the business of fashion for a week. And it's dedicated in the first couple of days. There's some public shows and everyone can buy tickets to most of the shows. Some of them are by invitation only, which is all very exclusive and can get a bit whatever it can be. But also some of them are public events. Most of them are public events, so anyone can come along. They can buy a ticket to attend, which is actually really great. So it means there's people who might just be interested in fashion, but are not necessarily in the industry of fashion like I am as a fashion stylist, but they are here to check out what's happening and they just have a general interest and they enjoy a runway show. So that's what New Zealand Fashion Week is. For the last couple of years, it's been run by a really nice man called Feroz. He bought it off Peter Stewart and he has taken it over and it's being managed and run by a nice man called Liam Wilson, and he is the husband of Catherine Wilson. So they have actually been running it. Feroz and Liam are at the forefront, and also Murray Bevan, who works for Studio 22 here in Auckland. He's a PR agency. They do a lot of the management and on the ground work. So there's a lot of us who have been in the industry for a while who have seen each other a lot over the years. But that's how New Zealand Fashion Week works. They do invite international influencers and people who are in the industry to come over and share the word about New Zealand fashion, because what we want is we want people to see the fashion, we want them to hear about it, we want to increase the profile of New Zealand across the world really, and also within the New Zealand market. So there's people who come here from Australia particularly and have a look at what we're doing and then might want to buy some of those products into their stores. A lot of the people who are here in the shows at the moment are people who have stores or have retail in New Zealand and also want to see what's ahead for the season. So it's really a nice, entertaining way of seeing it in a fashion show. And as I have noticed over the years of attending New Zealand Fashion Week, the shows have become a lot more entertaining. So if you head onto my Instagram, you'll see some summaries of each of the days that I have been here at Fashion Week, and you'll see some of the fashion. So for example, yesterday I flew up late on Monday night, and I attended a show first thing for fashion is 10 o'clock in the morning. At 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and it was Caitlin Crisp. Now, Caitlin Crisp is a New Zealand designer. She's young, she's in her 30s, and she has been designing for about 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer. And she put together an amazing show. Like, her clothes are very feminine. She had quite a bit of pink, but she had lots of other colours too, great fabrics. And she did a show entirely for her ranges, which she's got coming out through the summer months ahead. And she partnered, this was so epic, with the Royal New Zealand Ballet. So you could see dancers wearing some of the garments. There was lots of on-point work. There was a beautiful male dancer in the show as well. He looked amazing. He was part of it. Just a very, very good show. So I really appreciated the effort that Caitlin Crisp and her team had put into the show. It made it a really great opening show for New Zealand Fashion Week. I didn't actually get to the opening ceremony, which was on Monday afternoon because I was working in Christchurch. So I couldn't do that, and that work was in the calendar well before Fashion Week even put out its schedule. So that's just what happens in my business. So I didn't get to the actual opening ceremony, which I see was amazing. And they've been staged and hosted in some really interesting places. So most of the fashion shows that I'm going to here at Fashion Week are at what we call Shed 10, which is a facility down by the waterfront. So it's really central, which is so good for Auckland City, really central, so close to the shopping precincts of Britomart, and also shopping at Commercial Bay if that's what you want. So yeah, I've really enjoyed being so close by. I'm like a 5-minute walk down to the Shed 10 precinct. So yeah, that was Caitlin Crisp. That was yesterday morning, which was Tuesday morning, and a really great way to start the show off. She extended her very fantastic, I suppose, styling into the welcome as well. So there was some really lovely food, and there was people dressed in some of her clothing giving out croissant. There was some nice coffee and some drinks. So really well branded across the spectrum. She really reached out well to her audience. She provided an amazing goodie bag too, to those of you who got a goodie bag. I was lucky enough to get one. So very, very nice goodie bag, which was really good. Some great face oil in it, some nice organic popcorn. I've actually eaten most of it. A New Zealand Fashion Quarterly magazine, which is really great. Fashion Quarterly is the New Zealand magazine. Here it is here for those of you who are watching. This is the latest Fashion Quarterly that came as a freebie in our gift bag. So Fashion Quarterly is the New Zealand magazine of fashion, and it has all sorts of really great articles in it. It still comes in print, which is really unusual for many of the magazines nowadays, which are very much online versions. So you can actually get your hands on that hard copy, that glossy copy. Some really good pieces. They always do some really good things in here. Like just popping together. This is a wee article here on garments to wear if you're going out in an evening. So yeah, it was great getting that in the goodie bag. Thanks, Caitlin. So very nice to get that, and amongst a whole lot of other really nice offers and beautiful things as well. So that was yesterday morning, and then I spent some time yesterday lunchtime hanging out with one of my children, it was really great to see him. He's got a new job, so had a look around his workplace and did that for lunch. And then in the afternoon, I went to a show called 27 Names. So it was really great to go to 27 Names. They are a fantastic label. The designers are Rachel Easting and Anjali Burnett. It was founded by these two designers, and the name 27 Names was developed to honour the 27 people, whether it was family members or friends, who helped them come together to make their label. So we got to see those designers very briefly on the runway yesterday, and it was really great to see their collections. What I like about 27 Names is their fabrics. They often do really great. Well, they always do a really great silk printed piece, whether it's a dress or a shirt or whatever, and they have great tailoring, very good quality. And I see the garments in stores in Christchurch, and I really appreciate 27 Names. So they've been around for a while as well, long-standing New Zealand designer, and they put on an interesting show yesterday with lots of great pieces in it. So that was yesterday at 2 o'clock, and then I took a pause, and I'm not sure what I did yesterday afternoon, but I had things to do so that were fashion related. And then I came back again in the evening and attended the Juliet Hogan show. I was very grateful to be invited to Juliet Hogan's show, and I love Juliet Hogan. She's a great designer. She's been in existence for a really long time. She's been designing for over 20 years. Her clothes are great quality. She had a really beautiful, elegant theme of tassels, which doesn't sound elegant and beautiful, but it was, through her show last night. And there were some great pieces. So do check those out too. Go online, check out what she's got coming. Always some great fabrics. And what I really liked about all of the shows I saw yesterday, and I saw it today as well in some of the shows I've been to, is the use of inclusiveness around models. So we're seeing models who are different ages. We're not just seeing models who are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're seeing models who are a little older, some models with grey hair. We're seeing models who are not as tall. We're seeing models who are not super slim. They're just normal sized people, sometimes some plus sized people. So I saw a show today where there were some plus size models and many models who are just not standard size, modelling lingerie, which was a really nice thing to see too. So just real humans, which is great. So we're seeing that across the board in all of the shows, that really inclusive body shape and ethnicity and height, which is good because it's humans, real humans that buy products, buy fashion. So your fashion week last night was amazing. As I said, Juliet Hogan showed some really great pieces. I think if you're looking to try and attend New Zealand Fashion Week, you want to get here, it's worthwhile booking in advance and being organised so that you can see the shows you want to see, and also booking out the time and paying for some of the shows. This is how we keep things working at New Zealand Fashion Week. People pay for shows, they come up, they attend, and that keeps everyone going. It costs the designers a large amount of money to be involved in New Zealand Fashion Week. It's not a cheap exercise for them, and it's important that we help support that as well. So, and supporting New Zealand fashion means actually going and attending some of these shows and actually paying to be a part of it, which is actually, very worthwhile. So this morning I got up, it's Wednesday morning, and I attended a show called The Studio. And this was a show which collaborated or put together many New Zealand designers. So they all came together in one massive show, which was actually massive. Usually a show at Fashion Week you can expect to last between 20 and 30 minutes maximum. This show was over an hour because there were around 16 or 17 different designers all showcasing a small collection each, which is a really great way for designers to be able to show a little bit of their collections without having to put a full collection out and having to pay the full fee. This show was actually sold out. There were so many people in the audience and it was a really busy show and lots of people there, so it was great. So we saw fashion from Adrian Atelier, who has shown before. Bronwyn footwear. I really enjoyed the Bronwyn footwear little piece in there, just seeing some footwear that comes out into the stores. Nice, good, practical footwear we can use. Claudia Lee, she's a great designer who's come up through the ranks of New Zealand Fashion Week. It's been great to see her. Another designer called Commonplace Essentials. It was really good seeing them. They had some good basics, some really nice pieces, and also some menswear, which is good, seeing a few men on the catwalk. Dominique Healy, nice pieces as well, well cut, interesting look about them. Emma Jing, I think she might be a graduate designer. Her pieces had a really nautical theme and I enjoyed seeing them on the catwalk too. Frankie Knitwear was good, just seeing some knitwear. It's still really cold, so good to know where you can buy some interesting knitwear. We saw a designer called Fringes, and they were early on in the piece. They did some nice colourful pieces. Harris Tapper, one of the established New Zealand designers nowadays, again putting out some great stuff on the catwalk. And then Liam Lingerie, this is a offshoot of Ruby. They have made lingerie by Liam, and this was a very inclusive show with lots of different sizes and shapes of models, which I thought was great. And they were on the catwalk showing lingerie, which is pretty gutsy for someone out in front of all those people walking around in your underwear for the models, but they look great. Then we saw long form, again, a designer I hadn't seen much of before, as was on Ovna Ovich. Again, I hadn't heard of this designer, so really great to see them out there on the catwalk. Some really good wearable pieces as well. Penny Sage, some of you may have heard of Penny Sage. They are another New Zealand designer. Rebby, which we have seen established in New Zealand design circles. Rhoda Nunn, and then obviously our iconic Sylvester, who is a label developed by the three boys who are the sons of Kate Sylvester, who actually retired from designing clothes a few years ago, and the business was taken over by her three sons, putting together Sylvester, which unfortunately is actually going to be stopping producing any clothes. They're actually winding up their operations at the end of March next year, which is very unfortunate because I've loved their clothes, but such is life in the fashion industry. Designers come and designers go. So that was a really busy show today, and there was lots of designers, really a load of fashion to look at, some really interesting pieces. I had sat next to a couple of people who were really looking at the clothing and taking note of some of the pieces they could take home. So there are people in the audience who are just coming along, people who are members of the public who just want to find out what's happening for the next season. They want to buy something, they want to see it first, they want to get out there, know when it's coming in, because they are just lovers of fashion, and we love that because all of us in the industry who attend Fashion Week are lovers of fashion as well. So that was this morning's show. Then this evening I am attending a show with Catherine Wilson. Catherine Wilson is a New Zealand shoe designer. So she designs shoes and she always puts on a really energetic, really fun show. So looking forward to attending that show later on this evening. So why do we have New Zealand Fashion Week, and why would you want to attend? So New Zealand Fashion Week, like I said, is an opportunity to showcase the clothing for the season coming up. And you might want to attend just because you're interested, because you're a member of somebody who's involved in the industry, or you're just wanting to get some entertainment, take some friends along to host. Because in Christchurch on the 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th of October, we also have a Christchurch Fashion Weekend, which is really exciting. So if you're listening to this and you live in the South Island and you haven't got to New Zealand Fashion Week, or it feels like it's not accessible for you, then you might want to come to Christchurch Fashion Weekend, which is also a really great opportunity to see lots of great designers in action. And some of the shows that we see here at New Zealand Fashion Week will be completely repeated. So I'll be interested to see if Caitlin Crisp manages to get some of the Southern Ballet to do a show down in the South, because I did go to her show last year and it was excellent. So again, if you do want to be a part of this and you haven't been in the past, it is very accessible now. New Zealand Fashion Week typically in the past traditionally used to just be for people in the fashion industry. Now it is for anybody who likes fashion, wants to attend and wants to come along. So there you go. There is an opportunity for you to attend. There are fashion weeks held all around the world in different places depending on the season. So a lot of our fashion weeks held in our winter to showcase for our summer. We don't have a fashion week that showcases in summer for winter unless you go to ID in Dunedin, which does tend to do that, but they tend to focus on more local, but it's very, very good, more local type designers. So some of the designers who are based out of that southern region, although some of the other designers do show, and there's some fantastic designers down south. So I have been to ID in Dunedin 2 or 3 times. I need to go back because maybe next year that's an option for me. So very, very good show, and that does showcase at the end of the summer things for winter. It's in Dunedin though, so it's actually usually freezing when the show's on, even though it's supposed to be for the winter. The clothes feel very wearable right here and now. This show is really cold and it does get quite warm in Auckland, so we do experience that. Oh, we are going to be wearing those pieces. It's really interesting too, looking at the runways, thinking about the pieces that you could take out and be practical with. As I was talking about this with one of the lovely ladies I met, she actually is from a shop in Dunedin, and we were discussing, could you wear this in Dunedin? And some of the pieces would be a little bit tricky because it's a much cooler climate. So again, you'll see in any fashion week anywhere, there's some pieces that feel really wearable and some pieces that feel like they might be there for artistic license. Just on that, last night at Juliet Hogan, what she did showcase, which was great, was a bridal collection as well. So I do know that Juliet Hogan does make bridesmaids dresses, and she is obviously making wedding dresses. So it was really great to see some of that bridal collection being shown at Fashion Week as well. I'm really looking forward to a couple more shows like Catherine Wilson tonight, as I said, and a couple of others. So if you wanted to go to Fashion Week in another country, you could very much do so. You would have to find out whether there are general admission tickets, whether they are as inclusive as we are in New Zealand. But you see, New York Fashion Week has just been, Milan Fashion Week has just been too. So they showcase twice a year. They showcase at this time of the year for the summer winter ahead, then they showcase in the winter months for the summer ahead. So a little bit like us, just ahead of season. A lot of my contemporaries who are in retail also use this opportunity to have buying appointments. So the very first time I came to Fashion Week was in 2006. I came with the lovely Lynn Woods, and she was up here buying for her store at the time. So I got to attend her buying appointments with her, which was actually so good. I ended up going to Trelise Cooper buying appointments and heaps of others. So I could see what was coming for the current season too, which was great for my clients. One of the reasons I do come along is so I can see what's here. I know what's around, and if people ask me, I can go, aha, I saw this at Fashion Week, or I saw this and I think you'd look great in it. And I also use the opportunity to have a little look around what's up here in Auckland too, because there's obviously a whole lot more fashion retail here in Auckland. So look, I appreciate you listening to the podcast today about New Zealand Fashion Week. This is just a short snippet about Fashion Week 2026. If I want to summarise the key trends I've seen coming through for the summer season, this is a really early trend forecast because I'll do another one as the weather does start to warm up. I've seen lots of blue, navy blue, indigo blue coming through, which really surprised me because you don't often see it, but I saw a little bit of black on the runway, there always is, but lots of that navy and blue coming through as a basic, which a lot of people really like and resonate with. So if you're someone who likes that navy blue colour or likes any form of blue, I saw that as being a really key standout colour. I also still saw quite a lot of yellow coming through. So yellow's been really big in the last few seasons. It's still popping its head up as a colour that looks really looks really accessible. So I saw both of those two colours. What am I seeing in styles? I am still seeing really wide, long, slouchy pants. No indication that's going to change at this point. We're seeing the shorts length come up again. So shorts, which were like jorts a little bit longer, have now crept back up to sort of mid-thigh level. Sorry, ladies who like them a bit longer. I'm also still seeing skirts very much on trend, and particularly the gored skirt that fits through the hips, then flares out and is just around knee length or a little bit longer. So that's a bit of a shift on the length front because we've seen a lot of really long skirts. Still very classic dresses with seaming lines through the front, panels through the front, really, really big on the runways as well. And also, of course, a lot of summery dresses, that very flowing long dress. Some of them have sleeves, some of them are sleeveless with thin straps, and ankle length as well. Some of them very full. We're really still seeing the silhouettes being quite full as opposed to that really fitted style, although I'll see some more later on today. So that just gives you a little bit of a summary, some really nice, simple tailoring through jackets and blazers, that shorter length coming back into style, which is really great for those of you who are not super uber tall. That's a really good option as well. Juliette Hogan did some supremely classic, beautiful pieces. And even today in the studio show, I saw some very nice tailoring, some really nice blazers and jackets that are a little bit shorter. So we do need those in the south where it's a little bit cooler. Also, again, still cardigans are very strong too. So if you like the cardigan and you need one, which again we do when the climate's not so warm, cardigans are still very much on trend, still very much available, and still very much accessible for everybody, and lots of different colorways as well. What have we seen for shoes? Well, I've only seen Bronwyn shoes so far. I'm looking forward to seeing Catherine Wilson shoes tonight. She always has a really colourful, beautiful shoe and all sorts of classics. So I'll be able to give you a bit of a rundown on that. I have seen people wearing longer boots, which has been great. And that's been another trend that we've seen through the winter. And people, obviously, some of the attendees, the delegates wearing those longer boots too, which has been fantastic. I've seen some beautiful, just in terms of the audience and people attending, in terms of general street fashion. I've seen lots of double denim co-ords. I have to show you what I'm wearing. It is a double denim co-ord, see? 2 pieces with a really cool back. If you're listening, not looking, this is a dark denim set from Ash, and it has gold buttons and a applique on the front with some cutouts. So a lot of that as well, and a lot of that in the shops too, and I've had a wee browse around. So I hope that has been interesting for you. New Zealand Fashion Week 2026. I'm just doing a 2-day snapshot. Have quite a bit going on back at home. A lovely client to see tomorrow and Friday, and I'm working through the weekend. So just wanted to touch base and make sure that I shared the love, and really want to acknowledge and appreciate those of you who have made Fashion Week happen. Liam Wilson, Froz, everybody else, Murray Bevan, all of those who are in the organising team. It's been a really great event again for me. I'm not here all week. I wish I was, but I have to go home and work. And I appreciate all of you who have commented, liked. If you've seen any garments you want, let me know and I can help you track them down. And I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. And I will be back next week to talk to you about how to pack for a holiday in the sunshine again. I've really been honing my packing skills down. I am going away again, and I want to show you how I do it, this time with an even smaller bag, even smaller capacity, because I just am determined to have that small amount of luggage and get mileage out of all my outfits. So that's next week's podcast. So if you want to follow me on socials, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. And if you want to reach out, brightred.co.nz. Thank you so much for listening. Kia kaha, everybody, and have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you for listening to the Style for Life podcast. Don't forget, you deserve to feel fabulous at every age, every stage, and at every size. If you're loving the show, hit subscribe and leave a review. It helps more amazing people like you find their way back to life through style. Thanks again. Until next time.